if you're a starting out entrepreneur, I'm going to say that you don't have holidays. Okay. Right. When it's a holiday, that's your opportunity to get ahead of every single person, right? That's your opportunity to get ahead of everybody around you. So like there's not going to be anybody bothering you, nobody calling you for business. That's a free day for you to get ahead. Like if you just get used to taking that extra mile, not only won't it be crowded, but you will start lapping the people around you because you're just doing a little bit extra every single day. Welcome in to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. When we record these podcasts, there's a rarity that we stop and start over. Rarity, because
I would say never, honestly.
Never, right? Because we keep it organic, and we want to let y'all know that we're not perfect, and if slip-ups happen, whatever. But today is different because we just recorded another episode. We started it, and GA he was reaching for some quote in his bag, and I
was digging. I just couldn't find it. And I was like, yo, like I cannot recover on this one. Like I got to get myself out of this.
like you know how you watching your homie and like he might be talking to a girl or something, and he's digging a hole and he just keeps digging. Like, bro, like just get out of there, bro. Like, just get out of there.
Anybody that knows my 3-minute voice knows I'm not a man of few words. And so that is when I say rare, it's rare. But my defense, I've been up since 4 a.m. Didn't get a lot of sleep. My son had to have a procedure so that he could stop having ear infections. And so I think I'm just a little fatigued. But we still here. We still showing up. We still tapped in. That was
funny. If you wasn't awake, that laugh woke you up.
Yeah. I was reaching and I could not find it. Carter asked me, did I pack it? I was like, nah, I don't know. I thought it was in the bag.
Yeah.
But yeah. So y'all, in this episode, we are going to talk about how to be extraordinary, right? Like, and if you look at the word with being extraordinary, you just got to do something a little extra, right? You got to do something a little extra. It's not about having time. It's about finding time and just doing little things. Carter's going to talk a little bit about habit stacking. I'm going to talk about little things that I do just to add a little extra sauce and just make the things that I'm trying to do more meaningful and more impactful and more beneficial. Because, as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, time sometimes is scarce, right? You don't always have as much time as you want. So how can you be strategic and even really put systems in place to ensure that you still are able to get the things done that you want to do? Because obviously we're the Melanin Money Show, and we are never going to shortchange you guys on money game. But at the same token, and this is where I got lost from last episode, I was going to work. I had it was right there. I'm not going to mess it up this time. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to.
I was saying this. Don't even go for it, bro. Let it go.
I'm going to do something similar, but like we can give you money game all day long. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that your mindset is right, that you have the right perspective, so that you can really navigate your life. Cool.
And on top of that, right? When it comes to time and money, like one of the most cliche quotes people say is, "I don't have the time." We were talking about how Elon Musk went and bought Twitter, right? Like now he's the owner of Twitter, owner of SpaceX, owner of Tesla. He has the same 24 hours that we do.
Exact same 24.
The exact same 24 hours. So how could it be that he has time yet we don't? So like this episode is so important because it talks about like how to find the time that you need to do the extra things that you need to become the person that you ultimately want to be.
Yeah, because Q1 is over, right? We're already 90 days is gone of the year, and either you fit into one of three categories. You're either right on target with your goals, you're either ahead of schedule, which kudos to you, or you're falling behind. The good news is, if you recalibrate and reevaluate where you are, you still have a very good chance to get where you want to be in 2023, right? So let's talk about some things you can do to level up your life this year. So personal development is huge, right? Personal development is like a workout for the mind, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, personal development is very, very, very important so that I have very rare moments, like I'm reaching for something in my bag and I can't find it. Is very, very important, right? Because I want to make sure that I always have what I need, right, to be the best version of myself. I stockpile it, right, so that it just oozes out of me. Follow what I'm saying? So the challenge is, it's like, man, well, what happens when you're a father and you're a husband and you're a business owner, you don't have time to read? Well, what I do is I make the time, right, but I do it strategically, right? For me at this point, working out is a part of my life, right? It's going to happen, right? Like I feel awkward. Like it's almost weird to me. I can see people like they can go weeks and months and like not do it. Like I can't go days and it feels weird. Like I would feel off. Like something is really off.
I get the itching. If I go 3 days without working out, bro, it's a problem.
Right. It's now to the point, especially like summer's around the corner. It's now to the point like yesterday. I did 30 minutes of Stairmaster like first thing in the morning, fasted. And then my day just ended up getting crazy. I had like a class I had to do in the evening, whatever. I didn't get a chance to go work out that evening. But for me, that 30 minutes, I didn't classify that as like my workout. So some people go, oh, you did 30 minutes. I was like, nah, like that's not it. So like even for me, it's gotten to the point where like I gotta get my workout in, my cardio in, and I'm not making excuses. But I bring that up to say, well, if I'm on the Stairmaster for 30 plus minutes, right? Wouldn't it make sense for me to pull out an audiobook, right? And now I can get at least 30 minutes of an audiobook in a personal development, right? Most people sometimes don't read 30 minutes in a week, right? So now I got 30 minutes and I do fasted cardio at least 4 days a week. So now that's 2 hours of personal development while I'm already doing something to develop my body, right? So I think, Carter, you referred to the term as habit stacking, right? So it's like now I'm working out and I'm getting this personal development in. So to take it a step further, I take my son to daycare every morning. It's about 15 to 20 minutes drive there and back. What am I doing in the car? Listening to an audiobook, right? So that's another 40 minutes of personal. So now you're looking at 50 minutes of personal development 4 days a week just on, and I have to drive, right? I have to do the Stairmaster. I'm getting an extra 50 minutes, dang near an hour of personal development 4 or 5 days a week, right? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say you could do it in the gym. It depends. I kind of like, depending upon what I'm doing. If I'm doing legs, I can't do audiobook.
No, right? Here's the thing. Please do not confuse this with multitasking. From the sense of like, oh, I'm gonna work on my business, but listen to an audiobook. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Because doing multiple things at once makes you inefficient at multiple things at the same time. We're talking about working different avenues of your personal being. So if you're doing cardio, that's a mindless activity. You don't need to remember how to walk, right? Therefore, you can listen, you can stimulate your mind with audiobooks, podcasts, whatever. However, like working out, for me, like I need that intensity. You know what I'm saying? I need G Herbo, Lil Baby. I need some music that's gonna get me to put this 300 pounds up and rep it. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't want people getting confused with like, oh, they talk about multitasking. So when I'm working, I'm gonna be taking the meeting but checking my no. Okay. These are stacking habits that are not related to your growth as a person.
Big facts, right? Which is why I say I typically don't listen to audiobooks in the gym, because if you were really working out, you got to be engaged and you got to, like, you know what I'm saying, add that energy, right? But how can you find things like what we talked about, right? i.e. doing cardio, listening to an audiobook. Carter, you gave a good one offline. You want to share that one thing that you do?
Yeah. So on top of habit stacking, so there's a few ways to habit stack. There's habit stacking by doing two things at the same time. Like GA was mentioning, being on the Stairmaster, listen to audiobook. There's also the habit stacking of disciplining your habits so that once you do one of them, you're automatically going to do the next one, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, making my bed in the morning is a habit that I do and I want to continue doing. Mm-hmm. And journaling at night and reflecting on my day is something that I also want to do every single day. There's a quote, I hope I don't butcher it.
I hope you do, actually. Don't leave me on this island by myself.
You know, like when you experience something, you learn it, but when you reflect on it, you own it, right? So just because if you learned something that day, but you haven't reflected and really taken a lesson out of that, then that way you can own it. So for me, reflecting is huge. So when I make my bed, I also put my journal on my pillow. So before I go to sleep, I have to journal because the book is right there, right? I'm not going to forget to do it because I have to see it, right? So how can you, if you already have one habit that you're already doing, you're knocking out the park, I want you to find a way to sneak another habit in there. Since you got one down, then sneak another habit in there so you already get the other one. So you're making your bed every single day. Put the journal on your bed. So now before you go to sleep, you're automatically going to journal in the morning.
What's going on, guys? I'm George.
I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Carter.
And we are your money mentors. But today we wanted to talk to you about a really special feature, Financial Flicks. Can you imagine an entire on-demand library of financial content across 3 main categories: wealth building, entrepreneurship, and personal finance, so that you can take your finances to the next level?
Guys, when you replace entertainment with education, your life will change forever. Imagine replacing 1 hour of Netflix with 1 hour of Financial Flicks. Imagine how much further that could take you to your financial destination. And we have the perfect library for you.
Yeah, so if you're ready to Financial Flicks and chill with us to put more of your energy into education, then join us in the club. We can't wait to see you there.
See you there.
Right. If you wake up and if you wake up and you stretch every day, every morning, I do yoga, right? And after that, automatically while I'm on the yoga mat, meditation right after. I'm already there, right? So how can you stack habits and do things that you could put right after the habit so that you can do multiple things? Because I'm not the most disciplined person in the world, and I'm okay with that. Part of that is knowing yourself, knowing who you are. So instead of me relying on my self to become more disciplined, I simply discipline my environment, right? By habit stacking and putting things in place to where I can hack myself to do things that I know I need to do for myself.
Big facts, big facts. And the thing about that is that it really is a transferable skill in anything that you do, right? So it's like, let's say that you want to work out when you leave the office. Let's say like you still go into the office to work or something, right? What you do is you make sure like you put your workout clothes in front of the door that you have to walk out of, right, to go to your car, right? Because now it's impossible to overlook that because it's right there, right? So it's like little things that you can do to where it's like just little systems and mechanisms that you can put in place to remind yourself of what it is that you're trying to achieve, right? And so habit stacking is great. There's multiple ways to do that. But like we want you just to find these little pockets of time and little strategies to ensure that you can get done what you want to get done, right? Here's something else that I do. So let's say that if I'm working out and there's like a certain rep scheme that I follow, right? So let's say I'm doing bench press and it's 4 sets of 12, right? Well, that means that each set, right? A set counts as 12 reps. If I add just a few extra reps to each set, then technically I can get an extra set, a whole extra set, right, out of my workout just by adding a few extra reps to my normal rep scheme, right? And the same thing can be done with reading. So if you said, I'm going to read 10 pages a day, right? Okay, well, that means a successful day is classified as reading 10 pages a day. Well, what happens when you read 12? That means after 5 days, you get a whole extra day. Follow what I'm saying? So it's like when you set these standards, you can do it with saving and investing. Right? I want to save $500 a month. Okay. Well, if I look at how much $500 a month is, or excuse me, if I look at, so that's what, $6,000 a year, then what you can do is you can then add a little extra to that 500 and you can get a whole month, right? So it's like, okay, what is 500 divided by 12? Let me add that little bit of extra each month. And now I got a whole extra month. It's literally like creating a month, creating time, creating a day, right? Because you've already set this threshold in your mind of what success looks like. Okay, well, how do I add an extra day to that? If I just add a little bit more, right, each day, I literally can add a day, right? That's a little hack and a little habit that I've been able to do as well. That's been helpful.
Yeah, and I want you all to just adopt that, like just do a little bit extra, because what I've learned is that there's never any traffic on the extra mile, right? So when you go the extra mile and you just go do a little bit more than everybody, right? There's no traffic on that extra mile. You got the whole, like, so right now, today's a holiday in Columbia. Nobody's working. The gym was beautiful today, right? It was wide open, right? So while everybody's resting, like I'm doing extra, right? And it wasn't crowded at all, right? It's not crowded at all. And so like entrepreneurs on holidays, and again, I know we already take off, but like that is not, if you're a starting out entrepreneur, I'm going to say you don't have holidays. Okay. Right. When it's a holiday, that's your opportunity to get ahead of every single person, right? That's your opportunity to get ahead of everybody around you. So like there's not going to be anybody bothering you, nobody calling you for business. That's a free day for you to get ahead. Like if you just get used to taking that extra mile, not only won't it be crowded, but you will start lapping the people around you because you're just doing a little bit extra every single day. If you do that, you look up a year later, you're good.
Crazy, right? I don't know if I said it already. I'm pretty sure I did, but like in order to be extraordinary, you gotta do something extra, right? Yeah. So either I'm gonna be ordinary, I'm going to be extraordinary, but you don't get to just say the word and think that you're going to snap your fingers and be the best, be world class at what you do. You got to do something extra, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in the gym, right, you got to do that extra rep. Because here's the thing I love about integrity. Here's what I love about integrity. Most people won't know, but you will, right? Most people won't know if you skipped if you're supposed to do 12 and you did 9. Most people won't know, but you will. Most people won't know if you said you were going to get up at 5, but you got up at 7. Most people won't, but you will. And it's like this internal victory when you know that I'm competing against myself. No one knows my goals. No one knows my standards, but I did what I said I was going to do.
What's going on, guys? My name is George Acheampong.
I'm Jacqueline Shattuck.
And I'm Carter Cofield.
And we are the founders of Melanin Money. And the reason why we started Melanin Money is because we know that there's a great disparity when it comes to building wealth among people of color. We have a tremendous mission that we want you guys to join, right? Every single year, we want to help at least 1,000 people improve their net worth by $100,000, which will create $100 million of new Black wealth every single year.
Can you imagine $100 million of new Black wealth every year? As it stands right now, for every $1 that a white family has, a Black family has a mere 10 cents to match that dollar. We want to increase the wealth in the Black community so that we can have equal opportunities.
Simply put, we're about closing the wealth gap, and it starts with you.
So, see you inside.
And here's why it's scientifically important for you to do that. The body, by human design, is a self-preservation mechanism, right? And so it doesn't want you to be disappointed. So if you constantly don't do what you say you're going to do, your mind is going to start to lower its expectations and standards, right? So that you don't feel defeated. You're going to start saying, matter of fact, I retweeted the other day, I'm calling people out. It's call out season. I want y'all to be y'all best. This lady, I'm about to say chick, and I know my wife wouldn't approve of that. This woman, she said the summer is going to get whatever body I'm going to give it. And I retweeted, I quote tweeted, I think that's the terminology. I said, do you really mean that? Or is that a defense mechanism because you don't feel like you're going to actually get the body of your dreams? Right? She wants to be in great shape, but she's acting like she doesn't because she doesn't want to let herself down because she has already let herself down probably so much in the past that it's easier just to act like you don't care. And people do it in relationships. That's why I think everybody needs to do therapy. People do it in relationships too. Like, oh, I don't want to settle. I don't want to have be in a committed relationship. That's not for me. You know, it is. You've been hurt in the past, or there's some internal issue, right? And as a result of that, that is your defense mechanism against what you really want. And so you got to go inside yourself, right? Ask myself, what do I really want? And what can I do to achieve it? Because at the end of the day, I think the challenge that, I won't say the challenge, I think the trick is that people thought that the real difficulty was going from bad to good. The real difficulty is going from good to great. The biggest enemy of success is experiencing something. That's the biggest enemy of success. If you're down bad, I expect you to want to get up and do something. The biggest enemy of success, like I'm comfortable. Like it could be better, but like I'm good. I'm better than most people in my friend circle. That's the enemy of success. And the challenge is that you think that like whenever you're trying to pursue something, at the end of the day, like it's going to be painful, right? To go after what it is that you want. It's going to be hard to wake up and give up sleep, but it's also going to be painful looking in the mirror and regretting not becoming who you know you could have become. So you just got to decide which pain you're going to choose. You're going to either choose the pain of delayed gratification, right? Or you're going to choose the pain of regret. But I can't stand when people be like, oh, you like working out is your thing, or you just like working out, or you just enjoy business. And no, I enjoy results, right? Successful people like pleasurable outcomes. Unsuccessful people like pleasurable methods. Okay. What do I mean by that? That means most people want it to feel good, right? But successful people want to win, and I don't care how it feels because I want to win, right? And I understand that the process might not be pretty in the path to winning, but I'm willing to do that for the prize. Safe to say that my delivery bag came back to sender. Okay, I know I left something on the table before, but it's back.
You got it today. You know, it only took one other go at it. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that's big, man. I think it comes down to having a person identity shift, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to understand that it's not about anybody else. Keeping your promises to yourself is the only way to build self-confidence.
Talk about it.
Today I went to the gym. My trainer wasn't there because said nobody's working. I could have bull crap or whatever. I could have, I could have took it easy, took it slow. It's not about him. I could look at this body in the mirror tomorrow and the next day. You know what I'm saying? And I know. Here's the thing, y'all. Look, this is how much it's gonna cost you if you don't build self-confidence. If you can't build self-confidence on your own, you're gonna need to hire somebody in every area of your life to hold you accountable. That's gonna become expensive.
What's up, guys? Congratulations on joining Team Black Wealth. But we'd be remiss if we didn't give you a uniform as an official player on the team. So head over to shop.melaninmoney.com and grab your official uniform for Wealth Builders Academy. We'll see y'all at practice.
Now, I believe we also have coaches in every area of our life that we to give us guidance. But you don't want to have somebody standing over you to make you do something. Like people be like, yo, like, man, if I need to go to the gym with people, right? I need to have my gym partner. Well, what happens if they don't show up? Now you can't work out? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that building self-confidence is keeping promises to yourself. So we all need to like just learn how to do that and adopt that identity of keeping promise to ourselves. Because if you can keep your promise about the diet, and you can keep your promise about working out a couple of days a week, you can keep your promise about starting the business and putting the same hours that you were putting into your business, that you were putting into your employer to put into your business. If you can do that, you can keep the promise of investing a little bit of that money. And if you can do that, you can do your due diligence on, let me learn. Like once you start, like, I know I can do anything because I've proven to myself over and over and over and over again that when I put my mind to something, I'm going to do whatever it takes discipline-wise to achieve that goal. And me and George and other successful people, we don't love doing it. I don't love working 6-8 hours. I don't love working weekends. I don't love going to the gym all the time, but like, I love the results. I love the feeling of people saying, man, you look good, more than I hate the pain of being in the gym. Right. I got a thing where if somebody sees me, if somebody ain't seen me in a long time and they don't say, or there's no some conversation around me getting better, like, man, do you still killing it? Like, if it's not that, that's a problem for me. If anybody ever sees me and like, damn, man, I remember when you used to, like, that's my biggest fear. Like, and as shallow as it is, if one of my exes ever see me, like, I'm be looking better, doing better, and doing more now than when we were dating. And that's what I stand on. Any ex that see me today, she go be like, "Oh, you still got it. You doing even better, right?" And that's it's a part of my identity.
Right. Now that's a big fact. I know some exes they punch in air right now when they see your boy.
Yeah.
They
Right.
punch air. It's okay, sweetheart. You know, it is what it is. And honestly, it's probably more me than them anyway. I probably messed it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you still gotta see me and be like, dang, I should have gave him a second chance.
Yeah. I mean, I just want. It's a thing. It's a standard for me that when people see me, I personally want to be doing better than the last time they saw me.
That's a fact.
It's
You know,
standard.
at the end of the day, like I always say, guys, and I see y'all using my quote. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't tag me on this. Cool. Time will promote or expose you. That's it. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Time will promote. Like, dang, he really was putting that background work. Them wasn't just tweets he was getting off. He really liked that. He's really doing that. Or, man, I thought you was a big homie. I thought, like, what's going on? Like, it's either one of the two. It's either going to promote or expose you, right? Are you putting in that back? And that's where the gratification comes from. It's like, it is delayed, right? But that's where that gratification comes from. It's so sweet. It's like, because you know that work that you put in. Only you know that when you wanted to hit snooze and you didn't hit snooze. Only you know when you could have not did that workout, but you said F it and went anyway, even after a long, crazy day. And when you win and you get the results and other people notice it, right? It does something different, right? It's human psychology. Insert Melanin Money Awards, right? Like, we know y'all putting in that background work, right? To build wealth, right? And it's going to hit different when you get a chance to get recognized and celebrated for the things that you do, right? And so, guys, like, we encourage you, like, to matter of fact, do us a favor. After this episode, I want you guys to write down all the areas of your life where you know you want to improve, right? Where maybe you've been kind of slacking a little bit, haven't been pushing it as hard as you want to push it. Like, write down all the areas in your life where you want to improve, okay? And I want you to write down at least one thing you're going to do in the next 24 hours, right? To start moving in the right direction. This is not your practice life. You only get one shot at these, right? And if you're still listening to this episode, right, obviously you're a person that cares about improving yourself, right? You're not just an information junkie, right? Like, you came here seeking something and you found it. And what you are seeking is your sign to lean in and double down on becoming the best version of yourself. Stop saving those posts on Instagram and not doing nothing with them. Stop screenshotting them and not doing nothing with them. Matter of fact, I bet if you go to your duplicates right now, you're going to have 4 of the same screenshots from shit you still hadn't done that you said you was going to do 2 years ago. I bet if you search a certain topic on your notes, I wrote that down in 2021, I still ain't did nothing with it. This is the time, right? This is the year of execution. Because if not, you're going to continue to see people that was in the same position as you create more and more and more and more separation. And you was right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
More and more separation, right? Because you didn't double down, right? When we decided to do this podcast in 2021 and stay consistent, you know how many times we could have been like, it's just one Wednesday. God, is it that big of a deal if we miss? But no, we made a decision. And it's that simple. When you make a decision, you commit. And you stick to it would y'all really, well, I think at this point, because we almost 2 years in, at this point, we probably have some like, yo, where y'all at? But like, there were definitely times in the beginning, like, y'all probably wouldn't have said nothing, right? But we knew what we committed to, and we know where we're going. And that's why we can do podcast tours now. You think if we would have not committed and skipped stuff, we would be able to do podcast tours?
Yeah, but they might not pull up to the pod. They miss a couple episodes. They might miss a stop. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. These people ain't coming. Right. So, guys, like, we don't want to beat a dead horse here, but we care about y'all. We don't want this to just be, mind-numbing content that you consume to pass the time. We want you to take action steps away. And when we do see y'all in person, whether it's at the podcast tour, whether it's at the award show, any activation that we do, or just conferences that we're at, we want y'all to be able to say, I listened to that, I took action, and this is the result I got. That's why we do it for free, right? Because we want to be able to help as many people as possible in the most scalable way. And we hope that these episodes and the things that we're sharing transparently, right, are helpful to you guys, right? So anything you want to add, Carter, before we close it out?
No, that's it, man. Just proofandprofits.com. Join us on the podcast tour. You know, Houston, the first stop, LA, the second stop, then New York, then Chicago. So see whatever city is closest to you. Pull up on us. We can't wait to see you there.
Pull up on me.
Pull up on me. Pull up on me. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all.
All right, we appreciate y'all.
We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.